Hi, my name is Shane Robertson. I'm an MBA candidate here at West Texas AMU. I also currently work in the MarTech industry where I specialize in audience intelligence. Today, I'm going to be reviewing a book called Data in Goliath by Bruce Schneider. The book goes over data collection and privacy, how it impacts us socially and individually. Everyone knows how data privacy impacts us all. We all can, within arm reach, find a device that's connected to the internet that is collecting our data on a daily basis. According to Forbes, 2.5 quadrillion bytes of data is collected daily on us. The SNIA talks about data privacy, but they talk about data privacy as in sensitive data. Well, for me, what do they mean by sensitive? Who's determined sensitive data? Something that might be sensitive to me might not be sensitive to you. So there's a lot of things up in the air about data privacy that just the average person does not know. Even someone as myself who works in the data industry, I don't even know a lot about data privacy because it's kind of kept that way, private. And it's kind of funny that way that it's kept very private. It's hard to opt out or, opt into things that limit them collecting your data. Schneider does a great job in this book where he breaks it down into three different categories. One is why we live with it. Why are we willing to give up our data? The second is what's the consequences of giving up our data? And the third, what can be done about it? When you look at why we live with this and why we're so willing to give up our data, for me, the book opened my eyes a lot because I had to look at myself. And as someone who just recently signed up for a service, who the service was free, so I know I'm giving up my data, and they never really came across my mind of what am I giving up? And by what am I giving up? What monetary value do I place on my data that I'm giving up? Many times that we buy services, we go into a store, we open up our wallet, we take the money out of our bank account and we can see that money out of our bank account, or we pull the money out, the cash out of our wallet and we can see that. We also know what it took us to make that money as well. So it's easier to track these things. For most people, it is because of this reason that it's not readily seen that we have a hard time placing an actual monetary value on our data. And this is why I believe we live with it. On top of that, it is something that we have been thralled into because of the excitement of the internet world, that we were just willing to do whatever because everything was new and it was exciting. And if my friends are on it or if my colleagues are on it, I got to be on it or I'm going to miss something. So if they're giving up their data, then why can't I give up my data? Those type of social discussions in our own heads is the reason why we live with it. The consequences are simply the fact that we're losing our privacy. We're giving it away. And in essence, we're not just losing our privacy, we're giving away value. Because if we don't know the value of our own data, do you think the companies are giving us the right value for our data? Or are they giving us the lowball figure that they give on our data, even though they're marking it up and making tons of money off it on the back end? So this is the number one consequence for me personally, is the freedom, my right to my privacy and to decide what I do with this data. And oftentimes it's not clear what they're going to do with this data. Oftentimes it's not easy for me to say, no, you can't have my data. So those are the things. We also don't see paid services. So it's either give me your data, there's no paid option. So it's not necessarily that, oh, well, it's a trade-off. No, because then let someone pay for the service in that case. And the last thing is what can be done about it. This is where I kind of differ with, the author a little bit and with a lot of, things I read about the book and people's opinion is I don't believe there's a lot we can do about it in the short term. This is going to be a long-term society thing that we're going to have to change. We're going to have to actually show people the value of their data. So that way it's easily calculatable. We're going to have to make companies be more transparent about what they're going to be taking from us and being less private about it. So, if you're looking for a good book that is about data, you don't have to be a grad student to understand it. You don't have to be a data scientist. It'll open your mind a little bit and it will allow you to, just actually join in conversation at work or with, friends about data collection, and you'll have a little bit up. So pick up the book, Data and Goliath. Thank you.